Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Dr. Julie Zimmerman. We just had a program here at the Nelson County Extension Office on population expectations for Nelson County. You're with UK Extension for the state, correct?
Yes, I'm with the UK Cooperative Extension Service. It's part of the statewide system, and I'm in the Department of Community and Leadership Development, and I'm a rural sociologist there.
So tell us what you shared with us here tonight.
I was asked to look into detail about the population projections for Nelson County, and it's looking like some good growth continued into the next coming decades, and for all age groups. So one of the big things was population is projected to grow at rates faster than the state as a whole, and Nelson County is not alone. Four other counties are also in the top projected top 20 growth counties that also border. The other trend is the baby boomers are coming. The one phrase that's often used is called it the silver tsunami. And Nelson County, like every county in the state, will see rapid increases in the population 65 and over.
So as we were talking, right now it's 2015, so we're kind of halfway to the first benchmark, which was 2020. And between the 2010 census and the 2020 census, there was over 10,000 people growth. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then you were telling as well for 2013. So it's continued growth for Nelson County, but of the counties that border us, the ones that are to the north are expected to grow as well, and some of them, Spencer County and Bullitt County particularly, at quite a rapid rate. But the ones to the south aren't expected to. Is that because they're closer to a metropolitan area, or what is the reason for that? Do you know?
Well, the counties to the south of Nelson County they're still expected to grow, and at rates more similar to the state as a whole, which encompasses not only growth counties but also projected decline counties. The growth counties to the north historically, that's where the growth has been. When you look at charting out the population for the last 100 years, you can see that Spencer, Bullitt, and Hardin were growth counties consistently even before now. So this growth is not new, and this part of the state has always been a growth area, and it's projected to continue to grow. And part of that is definitely access to and relationship to Louisville and some of the growth in the northern counties. But here in Nelson County, when you look at the components of change, and that's how much of the growth is projected to come from births, more births than deaths, and how much is projected to grow from net in-migration versus out-migration. And so what that showed us is that we've got a fair amount of growth coming from more births than deaths, as well as in migration, about a third to two-thirds, compared to some of the northern counties where it's projected to come predominantly from in-migration.
Okay. What also is important with this information is it helps us be able to determine what's needed for the future. So there's going to be a lot of healthcare needs you were talking about too, but just also what was interesting, you mentioned at one time with an older population you might want to have places for them to sit at different locations. So there's lots of different areas that economic impact could have by the way the migration goes.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what's really important to remember is, yes, the growth in 65 and over is going to be happening in Nelson County, and that's happening everywhere because of the baby boomers. But we cannot forget that Nelson County is projected to have growth rates in all age groups consistently well above 2 or 3 times above the state. And so can't forget that there will be and is projected continued growth in youth, which has implications for schools. It has implications for housing as you have families and so forth. So we can't look at things in a vacuum. They're all interconnected. And so while that is an important part of the story, we can't forget that growth is going to be happening across the board and consistently much higher than for the state as a whole.
We had a great turnout here for this program with Dr. Julie Zimmerman with the UK Extension Service. Again, it was population expectations for Nelson County for the next 20 years. Was there anything interesting that you found that you didn't expect to find when you were doing this research?
Oh, I always find things I didn't expect to find. For me, working at UK and having statewide coverage, I love the opportunity to look at an individual county and their relationship to the surrounding counties. It gives me a much more in-depth look than you can get otherwise. And to be able to come and be in a room with the real experts, which are county residents who are living and breathing these numbers. I always learn more from the people in the room than I ever feel I give at the front of the room.
We did a great job. So we appreciate all that information. Again, it's been Gary White in Nelson County for Central Kentucky Television. Thank you.
Thank you.